What's up guys, Romsicle here, and today we're doing a comparison between the Holy Panda V2s from Drop and the Glorious Pandas from Glorious. Both these switches are very similar spec-wise, but one is a much cheaper alternative. Between these two switches, they both have a 67 gram bottom-out force, a rounded tactile bump, and housing made from the same inver mold composed of polycarbonate and nylon. The only physical differences between them is the color scheme and the stem. The Holy Panda uses the Halo True stem, which I believe is made from nylon, while the Glorious Panda uses a POM stem that is structurally similar to the Halo True stem. If you're worried about LED production, you don't need to worry because they let out a good amount of light thanks to the open window in the housing. As for pricing, the Holy Pandas are available in batches of 70, 90, and 110 with these prices, while the Glorious Pandas come in an odd batch of 36 for $25. On average, you're saving about 50 cents a switch, which definitely saves you a lot in the long run. They're both readily available to purchase, so there's no exclusivity fee, which is really nice, and they will be linked in the description down below. Now it is kind of weird that the Glorious Pandas only come in batches of 36, and I feel like they should start having bulk prices to make them even cheaper, but since their direct competitor are the Holy Pandas and they're already much more expensive, I don't see Glorious reducing their prices to make it even cheaper because they're already winning in the long run. When it comes to the typing experience, it's very similar. One thing to note is that the Holy Pandas do have a lower actuation force than the Glorious Pandas. The Holy Pandas have around a 54 gram actuation force, while the Glorious Pandas have around a 58 gram actuation force. So I guess you could say that the Holy Pandas are easier to type on. In my usage at stock, the Glorious Pandas are definitely much more tactile than the Glorious Pandas, and it's probably because of the POM stem and because on the website they do say that the switch has a strong bump at the downstroke and a quick snap back in the upstroke, which increases the tactile sensation. But if you listen to the switches closely, you can hear a distinct spring ping noise on the Glorious Pandas that are much more audible than on the Holy Pandas. And when it comes to the typing experience when lubed, that's when you hear and feel the difference. So I did the typical tactile pattern of lubing them that you can check out right here, where I lubed the rails of the housing, as well as 3 sides of the stem excluding the legs for obvious reasons. And what I found out was that the Glorious Pandas felt just as tactile as they did stock without the audible ping noise. Meanwhile, the Holy Pandas felt a little lighter, a little smoother, but it did lose a little bit of its tactility. So although the Glorious Pandas are much cheaper, they're definitely one of those switches that you need to lube in order to get the best sound experience. In my experience, if you want to fully lube the stems of these switches, I found out that you have to be a little more conservative on the lube with the Holy Pandas than on the Glorious Pandas. When I fully lubed the Holy Panda stems, I felt that the tactility had dropped so much that it was on the point of becoming a linear switch because it was so smooth. But when I did the same thing on the Glorious Panda switches, I was able to be as liberal as I would be on a linear switch, and the result would still give me a good amount of tactility and a good amount of smoothness without running the risk of it turning into a linear switch. I do still think it's because of that POM stem in the Glorious Pandas, because POM does come scratchier in the beginning and takes quite a bit of time before it's actually broken in and becomes real smooth. So I feel like in the long run, after lubing your Glorious Pandas, they'll slowly start to sound and feel like the Holy Pandas once they're broken in. So what's the verdict? Which switch is better? Well, the conclusion is that there really is no better switch here. Both these switches are very similar in specs, very similar in the feeling and in the sound. And it really depends on your personal preference on what you like. If you like a smoother switch with a subtler tactility, then the Holy Pandas are better. If you want a smooth switch with a little stronger tactility, then the Glorious Pandas are perfect for you. The only objective thing that makes the Glorious Pandas better than the Holy Pandas is the price. You are saving a lot more money in terms of switches per dollar, and you can use the money saved to buy lube to make the switches better. At this current moment, I personally like the Glorious Pandas a little more than the Holy Pandas because of that stronger tactility. I'm not able to get the same amount of smoothness on the Holy Pandas with the same amount of tactility than I can on the Glorious Pandas, which is why I choose the Glorious Pandas over the Holy Pandas. However, time will tell. Maybe the Glorious Pandas will start to slowly become the Holy Pandas, and maybe there won't be a difference in the long run. Who knows? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys would choose, Holy Pandas or Glorious Pandas. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.